Right, we're just going to do a sound check on Gavin because we were having an echo in the lobby. We don't have the echo anymore.
Yes.
And Ian's slimmed down this week. He's gone portrait.
I will try and change it later.
That's all right. That's all right. And we got Andy back with us tonight. So evening, Andy.
Evening, chaps. How are we all doing?
Yeah, and Gavin, just be conscious of you shuffling your microphone again because it's coming through. That's all.
But just telling what you do. That was all.
He's feeling tangerines in his pockets again, isn't he?
We'll have to invest, in this budget production in some wireless mics. But no, yes, it's a nice Thursday night evening. Oh, I don't know why I've got my glass on. It's been a busy week, isn't it? So some loan signings, that Carabao Cup game that started just like this podcast does sometimes, a disaster. But other than that, it didn't quite end well, but it was a good show nonetheless, that game. And a couple of other bits, which I'll come on to in a second. But evening to all those that are joining us so far across the channels, YouTube, X, and TikTok, and also Facebook. Apologies for those that are in Facebook last show. I think it was Saturdays or Thursdays, can't remember now. Facebook did kill us off because we show the Sky Sports goal highlights. So apologies to that channel if they do it again tonight. But yes, if you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I am proud to announce that we hit 800 subscriptions today, as long as I'm assuming it's still that and no one's left and gone, well, what the hell have I signed up to here? So thank you to someone in the office that tipped us over that. But,
are they going to get fired if they didn't?
Well, it might win them a McDonald's Happy Meal. Thanks, John, for that earlier. But look, we're growing and we appreciate everybody who can share and spread the love and awareness of the Block 9 podcast. So, let me have a quick spin through. So, Andy, you're back in from a break from a couple of shows. Were you there? I know you weren't near me, but were you there on Tuesday night?
I was, mate. Yeah, I thought we played really well. I thought, there's 2 quick goals in the first 5 minutes, just really put us under right pressure, didn't it? I thought everyone was thinking game over about that, coming back. But yeah, it was good entertainment. It was good entertaining game. Coventry were good. Let's not be sort of. I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, no, good. We'll get into the details and your thoughts and others properly in a minute once we get through some bits. But Luke, good to see you. The same. You're going to possibly be sort of known for the door behind the man. So we had Finley when he's on with his Silverstone antlers behind him. But yeah, how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Really good. Tuesday, like Andy said, really, really positive. I know we lost, but it's kind of wasn't about the loss. It was about how we performed through it. And I think there's a lot of positives to take from that night with a couple of people coming through the door, which we'll talk about later. So yeah, only full of positivity. Looking forward to Saturday now.
Yeah, absolutely. Gavin, how's things with yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. Busy week as ever. I can't wait for a long weekend. I need it. Was there Tuesday night. It's probably not helping my levels of tiredness because when you finish late and then back at your desk for 7, it's a bit of a draw, but all good. I thought much like the guys. I think there's a lot to the squad looks about 10 times the size it did this time last week. It's a funny what a couple of signings and a couple of boys back from injury does. But now, when I was choosing my side earlier, I was trying to find my subs and it was like, who am I leaving out? So last week it was like, have we got any of the ball boys or any of the flag bearers from displays that can then put a bib on and go and sit on the bench? So, things are looking much better. Let's hope that transfers into performances.
Yeah, no, and we'll see. We got some interesting views on, the lineup, the formations even, and who's going to line up from the guys tonight, let alone diving in to that Coventry to recap. Yes, I've got the goal highlights, all 5 odd minutes of those from Sky. And then obviously, of course, we look forward to previewing the Bradford game. Ian, how are you this week? How's things?
All good, mate. Absolutely fantastic result. Even though we didn't win, it was a good result for the boys on Tuesday night against a very hard opposition. And I think we'll talk about it later. But yeah, I'm really positive going into this weekend, I think, after seeing the display of some of our new signings.
Yeah, it's always a bit like, oh, what we're cheapening out again, and we're not sticking our hands in our pockets or persons. But yeah, I think as we come on to those in a minute, I think they impressed on their initial debut. So let's have a quick hello to who's in the comments first of all. So Debbie Firth says good evening, or good evening to you, the same as Peter Henwood. Matt Montgomery says evening, gents, feeling optimistic after Tuesday. Weird sensation after a defeat, but the battling performance with more width going forward makes me feel bright moving to Saturday in the Bradford game. Bradford, of course, atop the table out undefeated and not conceded a goal so far this season. Terry Adamson says, good evening all. Spicy Wedges is in as well. Evening all from the Spicy one. Thought we played well Tuesday apart from the first 5 minutes. On to Bradford Saturday. First one of the season would be nice. Get the monkey off our backs. Come on, you Greens. Stephen Cooper says, evening, guys. Gav looks tired. Well, busy long days and doing this. Also, Stephen, I didn't get your T-shirts done at this weekend because of the watch along. One job, absolutely. So I will get them done for you this weekend for sure. Andrew T says, you never said Happy Meals were on offer. HPO Agents Heather says, evening. A win for the ladies earlier. So we'll come on to a couple of bits on that. We will have Heather back on soon enough, I'm sure, once we get a few games in. And also Voodoo says he's in at the start. He says in at 7 a.m. with Tom Cleverley. And I'm sure a bottle or two by his side. So, yeah, so we'll start. I'm going to start with a couple of bits, actually, just some concerning news that in fairness, it was Argyle Life that tweeted this late on, was it Tuesday evening, about Akos going missing. Finley put it out on his news hub as well, so make sure you are following him. He has got over 1,000 followers on one of his channels now, so he's growing, which is great to see. But yes, there was a lot of concerns that he had been missing for a little while. Thankfully, Hasni Al Jafri did also put out on socials. Was it earlier on today or yesterday that he had been found? He's well.
This morning.
Yeah, so alleviated the rumours of, all the concerns, I should say, of the fact that he had, something bad had happened to him. So good to see and hear even that you're well, Akos. So shout out there. Also, some other, unfortunately, this is sad news from the Argyle ladies side. As you can see from the post, the club put out, if you haven't seen it, everybody at Argyle was saddened to learn that former women's player Roxy Thomas has recently been diagnosed with a brain tumour. Roxy has already undergone 2 operations and has a more difficult treatment to follow. Please, if you are able to donate to Roxy's GoFundMe in order to support her family, please do. I don't actually have a link to it, but you can go to the Argyle Facebook page and pull that up if you wish to donate to that. So sad to hear that. So we wish her all the best, because that is not the most easiest of things to combat. Also, just before we get into things, don't forget our shirt raffle with Nick and the team at PAFC Display. So this is the shirt from the Bristol City game that we sponsored. And well, we had the hospitality with everything on that. With Gavin sorted that out, and that shirt is all signed. It's framed. It's got a little plaque that says "Presented to the Block 9 podcast." So have a bit of unique Block 9 and Argyle memorabilia. So sign up for your raffle tickets. They are £2 a ticket, and all the proceeds go to what the great work even that PAFC Displays, Nick and the team do, which. It's their 10th year doing this in October. So we will look to get Nick on for that one and talk us through that. But yes, he said, I think it was the 15th or 16th of October was the first surfer flag that they had provided at the ground. So, yeah, wow, that's mad to think that. But yes, so there you go. So get on and I'll actually switch our Patreon code to this raffle one. So you can scan that. And then you can go and buy as many tickets as you want at £2 a shot. So moving swiftly on then to the game on Tuesday night. Yes, it was a Carabao Cup second round, and it was ourselves versus Coventry Premier League side, recently promoted to the Premier League. And we knew it was going to be a tough one. But after 4 minutes to be 2-0 down, we were like, okay, well, we might as well get cozy because we're here and just chat amongst ourselves. But no, the Argyle players decided that they're not going to lie down and just take that. And they got back into the game. And it turned out to be a really good performance overall. The new debutants, the loanees, I'll get the guys' thoughts on those as well. Tariq Backinson, who returns to Home Park, and also the Oliver Erlo, who comes to us on loan, who scored a superb individual goal as well in the game. So, right, let's get the guys' thoughts on that. So, I'll come to you at the top, Andy, first of all. So, what did you make of the game overall, and what was your thoughts as well on the two loanees?
Well, as said, after the initial shell shock of the first couple of minutes, I thought we played quite well, and the two new players did really well. Backinson wasn't uncomfortable in midfield, and Argyle looked good on the left. Good goal. Great ball from White as well. So I thought they did really well. We weren't disgraced. It was never a 4-2, I thought. I said to Carl at the end of the game, it's never a 4-2. We were very unfortunate to see that penalty. I think it was a bit soft, and we should have had a stonewall penalty at the other side. So just goes to show inconsistency in refereeing again. Very good performance from the lads. If we can carry that to Saturday, then I'm sure we'll be okay.
Yeah, no, good. Referee wasn't the best. I think the first half didn't feel too bad from my recollection, but then there's suddenly it was blown up for everything, which was just like. And I've got the clip of the penalty shout at the end. It didn't feel like a penalty to me after when I was sat there live, and the replay will show you that it wasn't a penalty. So, Luke, I'll come to you now. What was your thoughts overall? And obviously the standout performance, and of course, man of the match by Moiro. Have I pronounced that right? I can never tell.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. For the 17-year-old, for his it's not his. Is it his senior debut or is his first full match anyway? So what an outstanding performance it was from him amongst other good performances.
Absolutely. Nothing but positive signs on Tuesday night, in my opinion. The result doesn't really matter. Having seen, obviously, the previous three games, the cup game and the couple of league games, it was just nice to see a positive attitude, really. I mean, there was obviously a change of formation. Moiro came in, 17 years old. I hadn't seen a lot of him, but he looks like a player. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he played really well. He talks well as well, even off he was on camera, and he was just he carries himself well, he articulates himself well. So I think he's definitely going to be a one for the future. But two lads that came in, Backinson, I thought was really good in the middle of the park. He's a big lad, 6'3". He's a presence about him. Having lost Boateng and obviously Wadu leaving, then I think it's a really good signing in there. I know it's only one game, but it's something we haven't got if he wasn't there, because I don't think Ibrahim or White carry that sort of same stature and that, that aggressive sort of ball winning attitude. So he was great. Iro, listen, I've been talking about Dale and about the shape and about how we sort of I thought he would come back in terms of make us better in terms of the shape. This lad's come along and already he's found a goal in. He plays on the left. He looks a real player. And I think we played to our strengths on Tuesday as well. The 4-2-3-1, we were able to put him out wide left, and he's just getting at him, and Ibrahim in behind Evans, who I thought led the line fantastically well. I thought Watt's did all right as well, to be honest. He hasn't played a lot of football, but he done all right. And then Amici come on again and does what he's doing a lot this season, scoring goals and looking dangerous again in a position which suits him. So it was just positive. It really was. And Sorinola, to be honest, I don't think there was anyone on Tuesday that had a bad game. Even everyone played, not brilliantly, but played well. It was
especially after, typically we would normally fold this time last season after, going behind in the league in that sort of way. So, it's credit to all the players and Sorinola for me, as you said at the end, sort of really, really stood out, worked his socks off throughout the game, found himself in an unusual position, obviously when the subs and that happened. But I thought he was outstanding. And Michi, who now seeing the goal highlights again, as I'll share them in a minute, one that made that goal himself by, sort of stealing a miss hit pass. And and the finish just rocketed it in the bottom corner. So yeah, Gavin, give us your thoughts then on the game as well. The sort of slight change of formation. Is he going to stick with that? And yeah, with these new 2 loan signings, are we going to be a little bit sort of stronger going in, of course, to Saturday's game?
Formation change. I spoke to David Fox after the game for 10 minutes in hospitality, and he said that they've been working on a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3 for a few weeks, and that this was the perfect opportunity to try it, which is good. It meant we had an extra man in midfield. Backinson, I think, as everyone said, is a perfect foil for White, a bit like Boateng. I think he's a ball-winning midfielder. He's good in the air. It is amazing, and how a lot of the bed moisters will write a player off before he's even put a training top on. Egg on the face all over again. The same lot that said Bim was off before he was named on the bench. Interesting. But there it is, what it is. I liked our shape. Our ball speed was, once the first 2 goals go in. I think someone said it in the messages. That flick round the corner, if that had happened in the Premier League on Saturday, it'd have been played on Sky Sports 3 times on the hour. So that was some assist. Shape was better. Having 2 industrious fullbacks worked very well. As did Wes Harding at centre half. Actually, it's just his calmness on the ball, a bit like Pleggy. It is missed, I think, sometimes when we play our Bud and Thud merchants. Not that they're bad players, but against a Premier League team, I think to have a little bit of extra composure to keep the ball is always a good thing. White's getting better. He's the assist, I thought, for Iro's goal was excellent. And his passing range seemed to be much better, and his ball speed seemed to be much better. But it has to be, if you look at the pace of ball, pace of body, pace of mind of Coventry, they were playing on 1x5, and we were, in the first 5 minutes playing on 0.5. So that was a big change. Evans up top was really industrious. I liked him. Thought he was put himself about a lot, and that being the lone striker. And his perfect foil for me was Abraham. I thought he's like a new signing, because we barely saw him last year. I thought he was really industrious up top. He closed down well and pressed well. He was intelligent on the ball. He won his fair share of tackles and got back. So I thought he had a very good game, and he's only going to get better. Iro, I nicknamed Bale Jr. During the game, because the fact you can, A, looks like him, B, the fact you can flick it round a Premier League fullback and go out the pitch and still beat him for pace again, reminded me of his goal for in the Galactico game for Real Madrid. That kid's got a very bright future, hasn't he? And yeah.
So, Gavin, just on him, just to stick with that. Sorry, Voodoo's point. Obviously, Muaro looks promising, but asking him to immediately become our League One starting right back after 1 pro game is ridiculous. But there's part of me that says you can't wrap these lads up in cotton wool. And if he's that confident, and with the confidence from TC's comments, as obviously Steve shared with us the live lounge, the Argyle lounge interview, that obviously you see that happens as part of that deal. And he's going to just want to get out there, isn't he? If he doesn't get that chance, then his hunger is going to die off a bit. So
it's a very fine balance. Ironically, I think his game suited a bit like Caleb Roberts. When we play against Premier League sides, it's more about their speed, awareness, and they're making cleaner tackles. When you play in League One, it is very clanging and banging and bud and thud, and it's very physical. And if he's up against a Curtis, for example, similar wide player, he's going to get battered. If he's up against a small, tricky winger, then I wouldn't hesitate to put him in. I thought his composure was fantastic. But it's a big ask, isn't it? The kid's 17.
Oh God, yeah.
It is what it is. I rate him highly. I rated him highly in pre-season, and then you see him start, and you think, well, he's got to have something. What it has done, and I've said this to you earlier, it is performances from him, and obviously bringing in the 2 new guys, and Saranola having a good game, etc., and having some of the guys back. The squad now feels massive. Whereas 10 days ago, it just felt threadbare. And, and even our coach was saying, look, we haven't got much around. But 3 guys come back today for training. Aseni will be an important part of the season. Saka and Mackenzie, 3 good players. 2 definitely could be pushing for starting spots, most definitely, in my opinion, depending on the formation we play. We've only got 2 on his whiteboard now of injury list, which is fantastic. So it feels like there's real healthy competition for players, and there's a number of big names that I've left out on my side this week because of just that performance last night. And I think when you get that level of player as we have, and they've all sort of been in the trenches together and done well against a Coventry or a Premier League side with some great players, you need to let them go on. And one of the things TC said, which I think is right, is like we took the handbrake off. That we took the speed limiter off. We just put the foot down, and we looked shell shocked. We looked like we didn't want the ball against Wickham. We didn't certainly want the ball against Stockport. It was all very like just get it and hook it up the line and hope Peppel can bring it down and we can feed off scraps. We didn't do that at all last night, for Tuesday night rather. I thought we were very composed on the ball. Our ball speed was great. Our wing backs played a lot higher. We had 2 players that wanted to get chalk on their boots and stay really wide. And basically, whatever Stockport did to us, that's what we mimicked on that 4-2-3-1. And it made us stretch a very credible Coventry side. So when we were in possession. So we're in a much better place now. For 60 minutes, we were the best team. I don't think anyone can dispute that. Yes, Jack Mackenzie has been found. He was in a bush on Dartmoor, but there we are. Let's get him some iron brew down, and he'll be fine for Tuesday next week. We just had a bit of confidence, and now it's taken we're 2-0 down. We got nothing to lose to do it, but quite frankly, who cares how we got there? They've now experienced 60 minutes of playing effective football, moving forward. We've got some wide players with pace. We've got a 9 who's a bloody menace. And I berated him for that miss off the shot outside the box from, I think it was White. It's hell of a save, actually. It flicks off his boot or his toe or his shin onto the post. So you can't really hammer him for that. It was just a good save, point blank. But with more confidence. And I think we tried it once, a couple of times, and then we just like, oh, well, actually, we can play through this lot. And then all of a sudden, everybody went, right, let's just do this. There was a couple of sucker punches. I think if that had been in the Premier League, Peppel's penalty would have been a penalty because it's enough to stop him from accelerating to get the ball. He only held his shirt for 2 or 3 seconds, but that was long enough.
You will see the clip in a minute. And the problem, well, we'll come on to it then when I show it.
That in the Premier League, it would have been enough to say, well, actually, you'd have gone back to VAR and that would have been given, right? I think pretty much 9 times out of 10. But we didn't win the game. Some of our defending was not naive. I thought the 3rd goal, which cut back across for the tap-in, I thought maybe Jimmy could have come out, but bearing in mind he's 16'7", and collected or got a punch on it or put some people off, but he stayed on his line, and then we fall asleep and it's whizzed across the 2-yard box, and it's going to be the easiest tap-in that your man's going to score. But it is what it is. But there's enough there, I think, and TC, I think, said it in the press conference earlier, there's enough there to be more positive about today's loss or Tuesday's loss than there was on Saturday's draw. So if they go in, bearing in mind we're at home, we should be dictating play. It's our manner. If we go in with that attitude on Saturday, depending on the formation, and I hope he stays 4-2-3-1 now, I don't see us fearing many sides.
No, good. Thank you for that brilliant debrief. And yes, I've got the formations of Gavin, Ian again, and Carl, who's working tonight, so he's not with us. Before I come to Ian, let me just read out a few of the comments. Finley was in earlier as well, said evening all. Big up Luke for his amazing talk on Argyle Live Pod on Sunday night. Massive respect and sending best wishes to his family. Luke, just on that, just give us a brief overview of what you were on the show for. You know, he's ladies and gentlemen, we're not sharing him; he's ours. But no, it was a brilliant and worthy cause because of the charity that Argyle Life now
Absolutely.
support. So yeah, just give a quick tell on that.
Basically, they asked me on the pod because this year they are supporting Children's Hospital South West, and my son Seth, who's 11 now, has cerebral palsy and basically needs 24. Well, he does need 24-hour care. So we've been involved with Children's Hospital South West for about 10 years now. So obviously, I'm very close to them. Know a lot about them and us as a family and how brilliant they are. So they just asked me on to come on to Argyle Life on the pod just to talk about Seth and my situation, to help, obviously, basically just spread the word of the Children's Hospital Southwest charity. And enjoyed it the other night. It was good. They're good lads as well, and like I say, we're all here for the same club, same reason. So it was spot on, mate.
There's more channels for you to listen to people moaning generally negatively rather than positively at times sometimes, but across all the pods as well, including the Pilgrims pods. But brilliant piece of work, and yes, the challenges that you have to face every day. Equally with Sophie's condition that we have with her at a young age. These charities and that do an incredible job, and shout out to Bristol Children's Hospital as well from our point of view, because they were incredible. So there we go. Now moving on. So yes, in the comments, let me go back to some of them. So yes, Gavin pointed out as he was talking, good to hear Jack McKenzie has been found. I was worried when I heard the news, said Voodoo earlier. Terry Adamson said Moaro will be used from the bench on Saturday, which could be a fair shout. I think depending on how the game goes, TCU, I think, will be keen to try and keep that hunger in him. I also want to come on to Tegan Finn in a minute, which I will do with Ian. Stephen Cooper says, what's happening to Curtis, guys? He doesn't seem the same player since, is he missing Talai? Obviously, we noted on Saturday and last week's Live Lounge about his surgery he had on his leg in the summer. And is he just needing to get back into games? But the competition's going to be fierce now, which is what we want, isn't it, guys? So Andrew T says, can Aseni play 9 on his own? Well, let's see what happens when he gets back. Aseni is in on the field training this week, so that's a good sign, at least, to get him back into it. What else have we got here? Matt Montgomery says, would you start with Tegan Finn up top with Evans and have Pepper as a sub to use his power and opposition in the second half as they tire? We'll get some thoughts on Pepple in a minute. What else have we got here? CJ's in. He says, evening to you, to everybody. Nikki also on X. Now, X seems to be playing up again. We've had some comment issues with it recently across. It's shared currently on our Block 9, myself and Carl's channel. But I noticed the numbers started to climb at the start of the show and then literally dropped off. Maybe people just don't like listening to us, or me. So I don't know if there's issues going on with that. So anybody that's had to jump over to YouTube, then apologies for that. But hopefully it settles down. But Nikki's saying, Gav, wasn't it you that said that TC doesn't like to play 4-4-2? Let's hope he keeps a new formation and have backups that we can go forward with. I think it's interesting, the fact that David Fox said to Gavin that they've been practicing those other formations. So maybe that's his end game, was to get back into that. Ads Taylor is in as well. He says, evening to you, mate. Phil Spur says, Iro went out on loan with Mansfield last season, where he played 18 times. He's absolutely ready to fight for his place with your club. He's highly thought of at Spurs. Brilliant. Appreciate you, Phil, dropping in and letting us know that. His goal was beautiful, as you'll see in a second. Voodoo says, I can't comment on X anymore. Is that because you're banned, or just because the street doesn't work? Some of your posts will be. No, it's always entertaining seeing when I do go on, looking out for Voodoo's posts. So listening's fine, but couldn't comment. Hopefully X will sort it soon, says Nikki, whose comment seems to have come through from X. Anyway, Ian, good to have you on. We've got something to sort of just update the fans on as well, which we'll do in a minute. But obviously you've heard everybody else's view. What standouts were there for you? And I want to pick up on Tegan Finn, because I thought when he came on for Erlo, I think it was, he was outstanding. And I'm sure it was, but someone correct me if I'm wrong, but the number 7, the short guy in the first half, was causing us issues down the right. and Tegan Finn was just on him like a flash, and stole the ball off him. The player didn't know what to do, and could barely get anything from it. So, I thought he was brilliant, and another player that's hungry for minutes. But yeah, Ian, give us some of your thoughts and also on Tegan.
Well, I echo what the other guys have said, but also what I thought with Tegan Finn being out for a while, that he does want the minutes, and he's trying to prove a point now. He's got his chance with the injuries to the midfield, and also with Peffel with a knock as well. There is that option for him to start up front or come on a bit later on. But I thought overall, though, Mike, the performance after that first 5 minutes, Jimmy Storrs settled a bit better. Little Joe, as I call him, done really well on the backside. But Oliver Ilro, however you pronounce it,
I thought he was. Is that easier?
Ollie. I think Ollie really, really did well. He was, as TC put it, a vertical player. We've been screaming out for him, somebody like that, for so long, and I thought the way he whipped past the Premiership players, he was in and out, and he wasn't afraid to have a go. And we've been looking for somebody like that since Whittaker, I think. And also what I did like about him, I don't know if you've seen the comments earlier in the press conference, but the way he handled himself was very professional as well. And I think for being here just a few days, he's got a lot of talent to head up, and hopefully we keep hold of him for the whole season and not get recalled in January. But back to Tegan Finn. Tegan Finn looks sharp. He's ready to go. And I think this year he's going to have a big part to play. He was helping out. He was skinning past those Premiership, and I think it was Kitchen was number 7, was it, that he did that on? But I just thought it was just fantastic. And Evans he had a really good game. And also I thought in the midfield, Backinson, I thought fantastic. He held up. He was like Malachi Boateng over again for that game, because at the end of the day, Backinson had a bit of stick online. And don't get me wrong, some people probably thought it wasn't the highlight signing, but at the end of the day, Backinson really held it strong there. And with his height, I think it's a big help in midfield. He's a big old piece in the midfield. And when those forwards come through, they got a lot of pieces to get past him. And him and Harvey White work in the middle, it doesn't look a bit out of place. So, yeah, I think it's really positive going into this weekend.
Yeah, I think on the Backinson, I mean, he just, considering that the 2 goals that went in early and the quality of the opposition, even if they're not regular first teamers, he just seems so composed, calm. Don't recall him misplacing a pass, but in amongst some of the stressful bits, I'm sure he probably did. And as Andrew T said, and you just said it yourself, beat me to come into his comment earlier, it shows how well he played when we didn't, bemoan that we didn't have Boateng in the squad. So, hopefully it all bodes well for Saturday as well. But yeah, it's that. And Tegan Finn is someone hitting it. Andrew T again, actually. Finn looks like a man now, been going gym with Bim. Was also nice to see him on the left. He just looked up for it. Some of the link up play, and there was one chance he was trying to overlap and do a 1-2, but the, Coventry player outmanned and muscled him on that occasion, but he did look hungry. But all these youngsters are like to Finn now. It's a couple of seasons since the whole Rooney, comments and stuff, and he's not getting those minutes, and he's going to want that. And yes, the opportunities, Ian, with the injuries, it could lead him to getting some substitute appearances, not quite starting appearances. But is that enough for the lad? Is that enough for us with that talent, and should he go out on loan? So we shall see. Just a shout out for when we come to it. I'm going to do the goals next, but we've got Chickens podcast on. I don't know the guy's name off the top of my head. Andy, you know him. Yeah?
I know my chickens.
Fine. It's a weird bunch on TikTok, guys. But hello to TikTok. I am
not that mates when we started.
No, exactly, as always. We were going to look at trying to see if we can get him on tonight, because we got so much with the post-match cup game to talk about. So we'll be swiftly on to that in a second. But shout out to him. That's who he is. In the chat with you all now. Voodoo saying EIO, up the Football League we go. So he's obviously had a few too many glasses already. Oh, thanks, and he said that you're not getting rid of me that easily off X. As he put in the comments. That was his comment. Stephen Cooper says Sakamoto, that was the player, the number 7, a great player. Could not believe he played a full game. He was a pain to us. Phil, the Spurs fan, also said Erlo is pronounced phonetically as EIO. So
Iro.
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 I hope that helps.
Thank you.
It probably won't. So I'll still get it wrong. Iro. So Matt Montgomery says, feel Tegan Finn's movement would blend with Evans' work rate and physicality up front. Footy all about partnerships, and this one could be a real threat. It's an interesting view. Let us know what others think of that. Nicholas G, evening to you, says Finn is knocking on the door now for sure. So absolutely. Debbie Firth became a member, level block niner. Thank you for that, Debbie. You can either subscribe for 2 tiers of fees on YouTube, or we also have our Patreon. At the moment, I've got, where am I pointing? The raffle for the t-shirt. So the QR code in the top right-hand corner is for the chance to win that signed shirt from our Bristol City sponsorship game, and all the proceeds go to Nick and the team at PFC Displays. Let me show the goals. I've got Moiro's interview clip as well from Argyle TV. Now, I've got 2 clips of the Sky because I ended it after they scored their 4th and then suddenly forgot we had the penalty shout. So I'd clip that afterwards. But we'll start with this. So let's go through that. All 5 odd minutes of it as well. Look at that. I mean,
around the corner to release Awoniyi, beautifully done. Well, the assist was sensational, and Awoniyi had the calmness to finish it. Coventry City.
It was a beautiful flick.
As you're right to say, that is just
split the defence
from Urenchi, and then you can see the composure when he's 1-on-1 against James Storer.
No, I think I was doing something on my phone, and before I could look up, we'd gone 2-0 down.
He was quick though, wasn't he? He was very quick.
Yeah.
He was out all last season, wasn't he? He's just come back.
Was he?
I've got to pay dividend to Coventry fans as well, Mike. They were really loud.
Yeah, superb.
The best set of fans we've had down for some time. Especially for a Tuesday night.
Yeah, correct.
Puts it in.
You noted it a little bit with him, Ian, just now on James Storer. I thought he had a solid game. Was very composed throughout.
That's a great ball. That's a great ball.
He grew in confidence.
He can get into the penalty area.
Nice.
And get it into the back of the net.
Lovely goal.
Beyond Dan Bentley, and Plymouth Argyle are back in the game.
He's a confident lad, isn't he?
So quick he was.
So much space.
And he speaks
well.
Not quite sure where the right back for Coventry.
He speaks well, Gavin. Was that?
Yeah, he speaks really well. Yeah. Here's Gareth Bale Jr.
That's
I thought he looked like a Joey Essex.
There's two.
I think he preferred Gareth Bale than Joey fucking Essex.
Yeah.
But it's Joey Essex with a brain. That's the thing. He's got a good speaking to him in the press conference.
Here's an opportunity.
The tenacity here from Morrow to get this ball is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's run 40 yards there.
Keep it in play because we had the pressure. We were going at them.
I think we shell-shocked Coventry just after that goal.
Yeah. So should he have? Right, I'm just going to pause it. I'll come to each of you. Andy, should he have scored that, or was it a superb save?
People would say he should have, but I came back at him quite quickly. I don't think that's an easy shot to take.
No, Luke.
Oh, it's a tough one, mate. It's a hell of a save. He should have scored. He should have smashed it in, but that's not his fault. It's just a wicked save. So yeah.
Gavin.
Yeah, you could say, like, I think Hardy would have dinked it over him and let him fall. He's tried to go for the power. It's flicked off his toe. Yeah. Football's a game of chance, isn't it? An inch either way that goes in, and that's it. But he gets something on it, so you can't say anything other than it's a good save.
Yeah.
And Ian, not to leave you out, Ian, as you're cut off screen a minute, but
I thought it was a cracking save. I thought, to be fair, it was an awkward angle.
Yeah, I'm going to replay it back, but looking at some of the comments that were put out on like, oh my God, how on earth has he missed out with 95% of the goal there? But just watch it again. It's either going to go and it's not when you get it back that quick.
It goes power. I think someone like Hardy would have just chipped it over him and let it fall in the back of the net. So he hasn't got the composure.
Angle.
Yeah, it's not an easy angle, actually. No.
The ball's behind him a little bit as well. He can do a pile. It's hard to
It
beat
came back
that.
to him at a little bit of pace there as well, which is quite
Yeah.
difficult to get your
Second half, then.
I tell you what, Michi played well when he came on, though.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a pen there for me.
Oh, go on. Hang on.
Look at
This bit
this.
here.
Look,
Yeah,
look,
it was.
Look,
Yeah.
it's a fucking penalty.
Yeah.
He's holding
I'm
it
not
back.
giving that.
Hands.
Sorry.
Nah.
Of Evans, and he didn't particularly like it. Here's Awoniyi into the penalty area.
Oof.
Yeah, guys, should
They
have
could
got
have had
that
6 or
target.
7.
Rodoni, wasn't it? First time shot that he's
They had a strong side out, didn't they? Rodoni, Tor.
point of view.
Yeah. So Sakamoto.
Thomas
Yeah.
was Santi came on as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
There we go. Here's a redemption arm.
Great. This is
Yeah,
great.
there we
work.
go.
Wait,
That's
so
brilliant play.
Kitchen, one of the ones he's
If Zav don't
in.
start Saturday, there's a real problem.
Brilliantly taken.
I thought it makes a big difference as well with the 4-2-3-1. Harvey White looks up, our ball playing midfielder, and he actually sees runners in the right
Yeah,
places.
exactly right. Not
Yes.
two
He's
people.
got him,
sat
yeah, he's got
facing me.
Iro up there, he's got
Yeah.
Amici up there, he's got Ibrahim in front of him, and he's got
Like
Evans
it's in the
leading the
midfield.
line well.
By the way, that's hell of a finish as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I powered him. Live, I thought, he's going to get knocked off this, and he actually he had loads of space when he got the shot off on the replay.
He looks really hungry for it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, their tails
Just a
are up,
pen-
weren't they? Could see
It's just a penalty coming in.
Then we're back in it. There's that number 7 Sakamoto.
I just wonder if that penalty by Coventry was harsh on Joe Edwards.
I don't know. I think
No,
Joe
it's a
was
Absolutely.
Joe's
walloped.
definite penalty.
It's a Harry Kane
He
World
really
Cup
kicks him in
penalty.
the fucking barn park end. Watch.
He's going for the ball, though, isn't he?
Yeah, that one.
That's 4.
So there's a few who said that Moaro turned his back and you should never turn your back. I think that was you, Andrew.
There's a handball there
Jimmy's
somewhere.
got to come for that.
There's a handball there as well.
Jimmy's got to come for that, in my opinion.
So he's handled that first off.
Yeah, it's handball, isn't it?
Yeah, you see
Handball.
his hand go up. But it shouldn't have gone in.
Tegan's header.
Yeah.
It has to be helped over the top. It was an inventive effort by the youngster Tegan Finn.
Good ball again.
Yeah, brilliantly positioned and well taken.
Now look at this, right?
Blows it in. It was kitching, I think.
He's in a
He's
different
good for that. He's
postcode.
got his eye on the ball there, isn't he?
But he
Yeah,
gets his
so
leg in
it's-
front of Edwards. Exactly the same thing with Harry Kane that World Cup, wasn't it? Gets his leg in front,
Yeah.
and then Edwards is already in the motion.
That's harsh
Yeah.
for me. That's harsh for me.
That's Premiership speed though against a League One veteran, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I cut it off or stopped it at this point, I think it is. And I was like, oh yeah, and then I was like, oh, the penalty shout. So it's the next video, which I'll just click to now seamlessly. See, I don't think this is a pen,
Oh, he's been pulled. He's been pulled there.
and I'll tell you
From my
why.
side of the
Once
pitch, Lower Mayflower, he had his shirt ripped off.
they
Yeah,
show,
Carl was jumping.
Yeah.
That's a ball.
So I tell you why, right? Because he's got a tug on him, but it's really light. And when I saw it in line with my view on the pretty much in my block 9C, because he goes for that sort of almost like dive swan effect, I think it pits the referee off. If he just goes down, normally I think he might have got that, but because I'll replay it back. But because he pretty much sort of throws himself down, I think that's where the ref has taken it. See, it just.
If he's a Premier League striker, as soon as he feels the contact, he goes down. Right? But because he's a League One striker, he goes, I'm getting the ball. Oh, I can't get the ball. I'm going to go down. If he went down straight away, it'd have been a pen.
Behind the goal in block 3, it definitely looked like a penalty.
Yeah,
And therefore, the ref's got to look at discrimination, surely.
I think on VAR, it would go to the screen for the ref to make the call because it's a bit of a soft one. A bit of a difficult one because I think it's a little bit soft and he should have just tried to go straight for the ball. But yeah, look, if you feel a tug, I appreciate that. The play's going to go down. So to end that game, I want to, I'm conscious that with 45 in, but I want to get a couple, Luke and Gavin, I want to actually get your views on Peppel because Luke, I know, sort of, if you don't mind me saying in our WhatsApp group, obviously you're vocal and even a little bit out on X where, you're sort of not sold on Peppel. And there's obviously rumours there were before the game that, he was going and all this sort of stuff. And he was obviously arrived on the bench. With what we see and where we come to after the Bradford review and we do the lineups, I don't think he's in yours or he's in Ian's or anybody's starting lineup tonight. But where do you see it with Pepper at the moment now? And if there is a deal on the table, is it best to sort of both just get a deal done and move on?
It's a tough one. Listen, I really like Bim Pepper as a person. He seems a really, really top bloke. But obviously, we've seen the Bim pre-November last year, and then the amazing turnaround of him, sort of, Christmas to the end of the season, where he was outstanding. 16 goals. He was in a purple patch. He couldn't put a foot wrong. His movement was good, and his confidence was flying. Now, the problem I have with Bim is that when he's not in that purple patch and scoring goals, I don't feel he offers us that much, because he's not lightning quick. He's not going to run the line like an Evans will, like he did on Tuesday night, because that's not his game. He had to lie up front with them for the majority of last year as well, who is a unbelievable player and a massive foil for any other striker up there. So there was elements of it which I think made Bim stand out, and basically it almost made it a little bit easier for him because he had the work done around him. That's not to say, it's not taking nothing away from his 16 goals. He's outstanding, but there's always been that element with him where I'm just waiting for him to go back into that sort of pre-November spell where he seems really raw to me, and his decision making sometimes isn't the best. And that's where I stand with him, really. I hope I'm proved wrong, but I just feel that he's struggling, and I don't think he looks sharp at the moment. I just think he's a little bit sluggish. His confidence is probably down a little bit because he's not banging the goals in, and he's never done that before. Last season must have been quite new for him, and it must have been really confidence boosting. And it doesn't take long as a striker when things don't go your way after a couple of games where you start doubting yourself, and I think he's in that patch at the moment. There is a rumor of whether it's true or not that he has had a little bit of a calf strain, which does explain a few things as well, where the sharpness, where pushing off and stuff like that. So, but how can you write him off after 4 games? At the end of the day, he could go and play on Saturday, bang 2 in,
You are
happy buzzing. I know, and I don't want to. And I don't want to. There's that nagging part of me. I don't know if he's just a little bit overrated. And this is what I even said this last season when he was flying. There's just a part of me that thinks that, and I might be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I would imagine he would struggle in the Championship right now. I just don't think he's ready for that. I think another season with us, if his confidence is up and he keeps going and he plays well, I think that will do him a power of good. I think going straight into the Championship is a big ask. But personally, if the money's there, if someone come in with 7 figures for Bim Pepper now, I would take it. Yeah, I would.
Gavin, what's your thought? I mean, he's, as far as we understand, because don't see any clips, he's not doing any development work with Aaron at the moment. We know that his last season, from the insights Aaron gave us, the start obviously we all knew wasn't great either. He then got in with Aaron and did a lot of work from, I think it was around October. And then we all saw the transformation from the effort that he did with Aaron to work on his game. Does he need to go back and look at that a little bit, or is it just a little bit of a blip and we'll get the
We're 4 games in, right? You just said it yourself. The one thing I will say about his physique, I think he spent too much time on the bench press machine because it feels like he's got a lot bulkier up top. He looks like an inside centre. There you go, for those who haven't had a rugby reference for a while. And I think that's slowed his physical pace a bit, to be honest. It might be the fact that he's got this niggling calf, I don't know. His aggression's slightly off as well. He went through in 2 defenders against Cov in the second half. And normally, it's the Obafemi, the players end up on the floor and he's got the ball and he muscles through. Wasn't there. And so I think that mental aggression's gone. Someone just said he didn't look interested. I think he looks interested. I just think he's about 5-10% off where he was when he got all his goals. Now, I'm not being funny, guys, right? But there are people asking for statues of Ryan Hardy. The man didn't score for 3-4 months at a fucking time, right? So if we're going to give one of our 9s a fucking hard time because he scored 1 in 4 games, come on. Let's get real, shall we? It's League One. Yeah, we're not saying that he's going to be Harry Kane. We were half the fan base are crying their eyes out to get Ryan Hardy back every time he's mentioned to go out on loan, and he would score 6 in 8, and then he'd go missing for 3 months, and then he'd score 10 in 12. So I can't have the fact none.
Yeah.
It might just be that he needs to get up to brace of speed. What's going to be really interesting is Aseni's back now. So now there's 3 players that can play in that 9 position.
Yeah.
He's got to up his game, because if he's not, you might find he's not in the squad at all and Aseni's on the bench. Because he needs, if we play 4-2-3-1, Evans is the starter for me. He's a menace.
Yeah,
absolute menace. He needs to sharpen his shooting boots a little bit. But you get yourself in the area enough. I think his XG was like 13.5 last year. He got 13 goals. That means he scores most of his good chances, if you're a statistician. But I would say he's trying to be too physical at the moment, Peppel. I can't remember their centre half name, the one they brought on in the second half, but he was a man mountain, and I think he just thought, right, here we go. I'm going to be looking forward to a bit of a brawl here with this guy, and it doesn't help his game. I think he needs to be a bit more mobile, come shorter, not always expect the ball on the chest and to be wrestling with the centre half behind him, and that's kind of his one trick pony at the minute. A lot of his goals last year, he got into good positions. He went in behind him. He scored 2 or 3 from outside the box. The one against Cardiff with his left boot. That's the man at his best. He's not at his best at the minute. He'll tell you he's not at his best, right? But I'm not writing the guy off and saying let's get 400, 500, 600 grand for him now. When it's 4 games into the season, that's just absolutely.
Hey, we're Argyle. We love a low deal, low deal.
Just a quick one with that though, Gav. If what we both believe that 4-2-3-1 is the formation we need to play, I don't see Ben Peppel fitting into that anyway. I think he's a better player in a 4-4-2. I think he needs someone up there with him at all times to get the best out of him. So it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, but who says we don't bring him on and go 4-4-2 in the second half?
Yeah,
but we're going to end up in a minute, by the looks of it, to have three formations: 4-4-2, right? But he's not the only victim in this, and we'll get on to selection in a minute. For Bradford, he's not the only victim of going 4-4-2 to 4-2-3-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different skill sets. I can't wait for Beidou to be back and fit, playing 4-2-3-1 in this division. He will absolutely tear it a new arsehole, right? Amici looks fit, hungry. Iro, fit, hungry. Well, it's podcast time, sorry. So for me, I'm absolutely convinced he will get a dozen goals this year. And that'll be a decent return. Will he set the world on fire and get 20 or look for 20? Probably not. Don't think he'll get the airtime, if I'll be honest. Is he a good striker in this squad? Has he got goal scoring capability? Has he got a good goal scoring record for this club? Yes. Right. End of conversation. We've got a battery of 3 9s, and we've got Caleb Watts and a couple of others that can play in that hole. We're well stocked up top now, and even Iro can play in there. So look, we're well stocked. He's one of our better players. He just needs to feel his way in, get a bit sharper. Probably not hit the bench press so hard, because it just seems like he's Okenfenwe. And
he's not even forgetting leg day.
No, he's massive. Honestly, he's like an inside centre. He should have 12 on his back.
Yeah. No, look, that brilliant points from Luke and Gavin there. A couple of mixed views in the chat. Debbie also just now saying, I just feel it's still early days, but will come good. Voodoo also saying, what's everybody's prediction for his goals this season? I'm going to move on from it now, though, because of time. Terry also said Pepper will only go if we receive a multi-million-pound offer. TC did say that he's not expecting any players to leave, something along those lines, but obviously anything can happen on transfer deadline day. It only takes a club or two to get an injury with their forwards, and then they suddenly come in for what they can get for cover. So we shall see. Right. On Moaro's post-match interview, it's 50 seconds long. Let's pull that up for you all to hear.
Joe, as evenings go, that's I'm guessing right up there for you.
Yeah, it's definitely the best evening I've ever had, to be honest. Still don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. That was pretty surreal. Kind of wish for anything better than that, so yeah, really happy.
Now I'm going to ask you a few questions to try and cast your mind back a couple of hours, okay, which may be tricky because so much has gone on since, but can you remember what it was like just being stood in the tunnel minutes before the song that Semper Fidelis is played and you're walking out? Can you remember that feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it was like all my nerves just went away, really. Building up for the last couple of days, and then suddenly I was just like, felt like I was meant to be here and gained a lot of confidence, and then walking out in front of everyone was crazy. So I was like, I need to make the most of the opportunity, and I think I did that.
Joe,
there we go. That's the end of that. He actually said in the Steve Vaughan, who's out tonight with his son, so normally in the chat and is in our WhatsApp group, said that when he recorded the video in the lounge, he said his family was there, but his dad was working. So gutted he would have been for his dad to have missed that, and equally his dad as well. So So Nicky's saying, who's typing? I don't think it was me, Nicky, but
you were hammering the keyboard. I can see you.
All right, Gav. Calm down. Do we want the hat off? Do we want the hat off here, Gav? Come on.
I thought you were doing Danny Thompson's decathlon. Do you remember that?
Sorry, sadly my keyboard's right by the microphone. So we got my tapping and Gavin's moving the mic. Sorry for people's ears on the podcast. So let's move on then to the Bradford game. So we're back at home park against the division's early pace setters. Bradford have opened their League One programme with wins over Peterborough and Sheffield Wednesday without conceding a goal. Then backed up by knocking Burnley out, saw that last night out the Carabao Cup on penalties. Graham Alexander's side are comfortable without dominating the ball. Expect a back three, energetic wing backs, direct forward passes, and a strong emphasis on second balls and set pieces. Their defensive confidence is the headline, but the sample is still small because it's only a few games in. And Wednesday's cup tie may leave some fatigue. Hopefully. I don't know if the Chickens podcast is still in the chat here, but the key question for us is whether Argyle can move Bradford's compact shape before the visitors turn the game into a physical, broken contest they enjoy. How's that for a summary or synopsis on them? So obviously they only came up a few seasons ago, and Graham Alexander has turned Bradford into a League Two side, drifting outside the playoffs to a team that won that promotion and finished fourth in League One. So it was their first season last year. So his football is pragmatic rather than possession-led, and Bradford are happy to play forward early and compete for the next ball and attack through the wing-back. So this could be, Andy, I'll come to you again. So this could be one of those where if we're not careful and we're not alert and paying attention at the start, like I said it in one of the chat groups, that it could be Stockport all over if we're not careful. I don't think, hopefully it won't be, of course, folks. But what's your thoughts going into that game?
Yeah, I was just thinking exactly about Mike. It could be another physical game last Stockport. Stockport were a good side, fast flowing, and Bradford, they're just as good. They've got some good players inside. Got a great skipper, Anthony Sarcevic. They could pose a lot of threats. In all around the pitch. So we've got to be on our guard and on our mettle against them, really.
Yeah. Do you see who do you think is going to make a difference in that game, Andy? When we'll come to the lineups from the others in a minute, but any standouts you think are going to be in that game?
Well, for Bradford, for us, I think if I think Ira is going to do well for us, and I think if we can get Amici on the right hand side, both running at them at the pace, they're not going to be comfortable with that, are they? So they're going to have to resort to the dark arts, maybe.
Yeah, not forget Sarcevic. Yeah,
Sarcevic for them. Yeah, I don't know a lot about their forward line, but Gillespie's a good player. I mean, they've got some good players in the side, strong players. Yeah, and they're typical northern, big lumpy side, aren't they? But
it was good. I didn't watch them for the whole of the game last night, but I caught the end and the penalties. So they do look confident. They do look well drilled. So Luke, what's your thoughts? I mean, there's a few sort of key players from our research. Obviously, John McCracken in goal rates very highly. You got Aidan Baldwin and centre back with Macaulay Gillespie as well. Both very strong. Centre midfield, Callum Connolly. Screens a defence and wins those second balls. Centre forward Jack Beasley and Tyreek right left wing back as well as some notables.
Listen, I think we're worrying about them. We've been worrying about other teams too much, to be honest, in my opinion. Last night, TC said, we need to get our confidence up and actually just relax and go at them and start just playing some football. Exactly what we've done against the Premier League side on Tuesday. And we got Bradford on Saturday. Yeah, they played 2 and 1-2, but they're not a great footballing side by any stretch of the imagination. So again, I think.
But that's this league at times, though, isn't it? Luke, sorry to interject, but that is this league at times.
It is this league, but at the same time, I think it depends on us. If we go down and if we do play a 4-2-3-1, I think we win the game. I just have a little sneaky feeling that he may go back to a 4-4-2. I don't know why. I just got a feeling he's going to play 4 centre backs along the back line. I hope I'm wrong. I just got a feeling that he's going to want to sort of be strong. And again, that's kind of a little bit negative in my opinion. I think even as a 4-2-3-1 with Backinson in there, the 2 centre has to be Ross and whoever, Pleggy or Mitch comes back in. I think we got enough strength within the side and we got enough going forward in a 4-2-3-1 with Amici and the new lad Iro. And obviously, if he plays Evans up top, I think they got to worry about us a little bit more, and we can pin them back. So, I just hope we keep the positivity up as we done on Tuesday, and not go back into our shell. And that's what I think, really.
That's right, Gavin. It's going to be. I mean, I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to be a really good game, and hopefully, we are a bit more on the ball from the off, just to ensure, because they want to come at us, knowing what happened against Stockport and even Coventry clearly. But give us your thoughts on any players particularly from that side, but any thoughts as well.
It's more formation, so they play 3-4-2-1. So it's kind of Christmas tree. It means they're going to have a 2 and a 2 at box midfield. And that's what happened against Stockport. Now, believe me, guys, they're not going to move the ball like Stockport. I don't see any side in this division apart from them doing that well enough. They're probably best footballing side outside of Cardiff that we saw at our level for the last couple of years. Sarcevic has moved into a 6 to play 2 6s, whereas last year he was playing in a 10. So he's either losing his legs or they've done something tactically there, but that's fine. Is it Newville, whoever the chickens will tell me. On the right, he's over 6 foot. So I think he'll play Hartridge at left back because there's some physicality out there. I think he'll do a Curtis role. If we're playing against a box midfield 2 and 2, 2 10s, 2 6s, we're going to need to play 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, because otherwise they're going to be chasing shadows again, like we were against Stockport. So they're not the best footballing team, but they're very physical. To use a modern footballism, the duelling is one of their strengths. That's their manhood. That's what they get. It's like a South African front 5, to use a rugby term. That's their manhood. That's what they thrive on is winning duels and getting high up the pitch. Beasley plays alone up top, and he's got a good goal scoring record. And I think he's a threat. It wouldn't surprise me if they played Mitchell in the back 4 because I think they'll be physical. I wouldn't, but I think they probably will. For me, it's down the flanks. If we pick Iro, he's going to expand the game, which means that compactness in the midfield is going to disappear. So that'll be the first thing, and I'd play Michi on the other side. So if we keep that width, then that's fine. They'll come and mark us, and our centre halves can run through the middle like they did against Stockport, or they'll keep it central, give us the width of the pitch, and say you're not coming through the middle. In which case, we've got 2 very dangerous wide players that can do a lot of damage, whether with crosses or shots. So, it's all down to formation. It's going to be quite a contrast. I would have said 2 weeks ago it's a game of teams that neither side want the ball, which has always made me laugh when we were on the mirror on, because whoever come here, if we played a team that didn't want the ball, it was like it could have sat on its own in the centre spot for 5 minutes, no one touching it. And I think that would have been a probably good result for both coaches. So I think they'll allow us to get it down, and I think if we play 4-2-3-1, we'll be much better for it. And I think if we play with ball speed that we did against Coventry with that pass and movement, I think we'll be okay. But go out and take the handbrake off, as Luke said earlier. Why are we worrying about these other sides? We're at home, for God's sake. There's going to be 16,500 there. Just go out and absolutely take it to them.
Well, let's hope that is what happens. Obviously, of course, on on this show tonight. We give the thoughts on what we think of the opposition, but yeah, absolutely. I'll come to some of the presser points as well in a second. But yeah, just a bit on their transfer window as well, Gav. So they had 8 senior arrivals and 8 senior departures. So Beasley, Phillips, McCracken, Connolly, Gillespie, Cartwright, Welch and Dawson were ones that came in. I won't bother with the ones that have left. But they've refreshed the spine rather than torn the squad apart. So McCracken replaces Walker in goal. Gillespie and Connolly strengthen the defensive core, with Phillips brings goals and set piece quality. So something to look out for there. And Beasley gives them the new reference point up front. As Andrew T also said, he did well out of struggle in Burton. Nicky says, Mike, you're like this. Ryan's just said you should be the manager. Definitely not me. The 2 below me, maybe. Definitely not me. If
you've got a task, you could be Ted Lasso.
It'll be right. I'm just going to go onto my noisy keyboard in the background and order a tash off Amazon. What do you think, Sophie? Look, I think I'm excited for it because it's a side that have started well and we want to see a good game, so we should be up for it, like you and Luke just said. Ian, do you want to add anything else to what you think for Burton?
For Bradford, you mean?
Sorry, Bradford. Beasley stuck in my head.
I would just say it's a free hit for us again, because at the moment they're the ones that have got the clean sheets, and their fans will be expecting it to be exactly the same against us after seeing the performances against Stockport and also Wickham. But I think, well, I don't know if they're going to be travelling in their numbers, but hopefully they will be. But I reckon we've got enough pace out there to actually outdo those players in the second half. They're an older team. Yes, they got the experience, but I think if we brought on, when you see my team selection later, the younger players, that'll run and ragged that last 20 minutes, half an hour. And I think that's going to play in our advantage. And like I say, we've got the freedom on Saturday. At the end of the day, we've got nothing to lose. We've just got to go out for it and actually attack it and just play with that freedom, let the shackles off and go for it.
Yeah, there's Gavin, what do you say their formation you expect them to be?
3-4-2-1.
Yeah, exactly what's on my prep notes here. So yeah, likely to retain that back 3 structure. So I think the wide players, are going to be crucial in that starting lineup for Argyle, to see if they can get in and behind and cause problems. Before I'm going to come to the lineups next, but before I do, just a quick diversion. So Ian, you can tell everybody what your roles and associations are, but when I come to you in a second. But yes, the Plymouth Argyle Fan Experience Assembly. So just tell people what that's about, what you get involved in, and we hope to bring you updates on this as well with Ian as we go into the season.
Yeah, so basically the Fan Experience Assembly has been in multiple times, different names over the years. But last year, when Paul Byrne came in, and also the change of management, the Fan Assembly was there. There's reps from like every stand, there's every group represented. I think there's a family rep that might be coming available in the future, but we meet at least 4 to 5 times a season. We need the fans to interact with us, use the Fan Experience email to put their suggestions forward, whether it's a good, bad, positive. If that still has been great, positive feedback's good. If it's something that you're a bit concerned about, or suggestions that you feel, this is away from the playing squad, by the way, this is to make the match day experience really good for those fans, whether you're new or old. And I feel if the fans use it and they interact, I can't speak for the other stands, but I represent the Devonport end, and I want to get that out there. We've got a meeting this Saturday, and we meet with the board, we meet with the heads of the main Argyle department. So it's a really good way to put them back feedback, good or bad.
Yeah, and people can submit that feedback, either obviously get in touch with you if they know where you are on socials, but also with the email address that is FEA for Fan Experience Assembly at pafc.co.uk. So Ian will update us when we do our live lounges on what's been brought up. Go on.
Just a quick one. Like last year, one of the big positives for the people that travel away, when it was suggested about using the credits towards the away games, the fan experience took that on board, passed it back to the club, and that's how we got that turned around. So if you do sell your home ticket, you can use it to away games. So that was a positive feedback. There is bits going on behind the scenes at the moment. And also Tuesday night, everybody knows it was a test event for the new QR rewards code. There was technical issues with some things of it, and it is being looked into in some of the stands. And I know I fed it back to Paul Byrne straight away, and he had teams working late into the evening. Gav will probably agree. They've been working behind the screens, and it's going to hopefully be 100% on Saturday. But just please bear with it with the club, because obviously it's a new thing, and they will get it right eventually. But yeah, we do encourage you, all the feedback, please use that. And also there is a website page on the FEA, on the Argyle website, and there's a survey form at the bottom. Just tick on that if you don't have an email access, and you can drop down and put your suggestions in there as well. And if it's immediate concern, put it as a high risk.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you for that. So, like I said, we want to bring you all things Argyle, hence the strap line, but we'll do that through Ian as and when he gets those updates from those meetings. Couple of shout outs in the chat, and sorry when I flick through slides, sometimes the newest tweet appears at the top and then it appears at the bottom, and I hate the fact that Restream have made it impossible for me to stretch this full screen on the right hand side for all the money I paid towards this bloody service. But yeah, I'm going to segue into then Ian's lineup and stick with him before I then go to Gavin. But Luke, can you you've seen it, you might have tweeted it, but just shout out, because I know you see the comments, can you just shout out how the likes of Stephen, Nikki and others can donate?
I am just on it actually now. I was just looking myself. I've gone to I'll just put donate Children's Hospital Southwest in like a search engine, and it actually does come straight up with their link on how to do it. But I'll tweet that out from my Twitter account, X account now, and if you want to retweet it from the Block 9, we'll go from that way. So give me 2 minutes, I'm on it. Thanks,
That's fine. Yeah, Gav, if you can just retweet it on our account, that would be grand. Nick's in the house as well. PAFC display says, evening all. The raffle is still live and doing well. Scan the QR code to enter. Not long left to get involved, as it's closing on the 3rd of September at 2:30. So don't miss out. Yes, as I said earlier, let me just quickly go to that. It is for our signed shirt from the game. What we organised with the sponsorship through Gavin for the Bristol City friendly. So it is a signed shirt. It's in a lovely frame that Argyle give to everybody that does the shirt sponsors for each match, and it's got a little plaque. So it says presented to the Block 9 podcast. So it's a little bit of unique memorabilia as well for you. You know, you never know, folks. It could be worth a few pence in a few years' time. Right, let's get into the lineups now as we start to close out. So I said I'd go to Ian's as we were just speaking to him. So Ian, read out your lineup and why you've gone with your 4-3-3.
So I would go back into Cooper in goal because obviously Jimmy had a good game on Tuesday night, but solid Cooper performance will be needed against a very strong Bradford team. I would put Joe Edwards in at the back, give him a start inside of it because of the experience against a strong, experienced team. Pleggy in the back with Matthias Ross and Sorinola on the left. Coming forward, I would put in White, Michi and Curtis, but Backinson, sorry. And then going up at the front, I'll go one up front with just Evans and Michi just behind him, and Peffel up there, because I feel second half we're going to need the younger ones to come on, and that's where Ollie will come on and run those defenders and really stretch them if Michi starts to fail. But I don't think it's fair for Michi to miss out, really, because he did come on and he is our leading goal scorer at the moment. So we need him on there.
It's early days, Ian. It's early days.
So, but I think Evans supporting Peffel there. I think if he starts, that'd be good on there. But if we need to swap him, put Tegan Finn on there as well. That'd be another bit, and switch Evans into the middle. That'd be the second half.
Yeah, so I was wrong earlier saying no one had picked Pepper in this squad, so apologies, Ian, for that. And
That's all right.
Andrew T's increasing the shares for Gavin Hypnos with his latest tweet, which
I've just hit buy for another big chunk of shares.
That's it, yeah. So for the wave, yeah, Gavin, this is your lineup. So take us through your selection. That
Okay,
include
so for those who listen on the commute, Murphy Cooper in goal, left back Alex Hartridge, 2 centre backs of Julio Pleguezuelo and Matthias Ross, right back Wes Harding. This was the bit that took me the longest. I had it was like the okie dokie. At one stage, I had Moiro at right back, Wes Harding in the middle, and then I had Mitchell in the middle with Ross, and then I put Pleggy in, and then it was a long selection meeting for me, myself, and I to pick the back four, and I've ended up with this Pleggy there mainly because I think he looks fitter than Mitchell at the minute. I think he looks sharper than Mitchell at the minute. I think he's more composed on the ball than Mitchell at the minute, and they're only playing one up top, but it is going to be physical, so it wouldn't surprise me to see Mitch at some stage to get his minutes back and start to work on. All dry now, thanks, Andy. Midfield, two sixes of Tyreek Backinson and Harvey White, as per Tuesday night. Tyreek has really impressed me. He is, from a very small sample size of one game, more effective at breaking up play and far cleaner on the ball than Weirdo. Weirdo, I think, is a better box-to-box runner, and I think they're probably similar in terms of breaking up play, making tackles. So I think it's a good recruitment, and if we've got a wage bill down and managed to bring in Iro over, having both those and not just Weirdo, it's a great bit of business by the recruitment team, who have also taken a hammering over the last couple of days. Especially Owen on Twitter said it's the worst recruitment window for years. I don't know where he got that from. He's going to be fun at parties. So they're the two, and then I've got a 3 midfield of Oliver Iro on the left. You'll be shocked to hear. Xavier Amici on the right. I think they both picked themselves after Tuesday night. And then behind them, Bradley Ibrahim, I thought was excellent throughout on both games. Actually, I thought he did really well in the 6. Away at Wickham, and I thought he was excellent against Coventry on Tuesday night. And then I've gone for Will Evans up top because he's an utter menace. That does, however, leave quite a few star players in our 4-4-2 formation on the bench, notably Ronan Curtis, Alex Mitchell, who would probably normally be starting, you would say. I don't think Joe's ready yet, but I think you can probably give Joe 20 minutes, 25 minutes and build him back up. But I don't think he's anywhere near match fit or match sharp yet. So that is my lineup.
Yeah, like that seems to appeal to people in the comments. I'll just read some out. JC Tavi says, I worry a bit about them getting down the sides with Hartridge and Harding, but given injuries, I think we have little choice. I like that team, Gav. Debbie Firth says, raffle done. Can I get the link for the new flags? Is that will be on their site and shop where you saw the raffle thing, Debbie, I believe. Rambo's Nose says, Ibrahim looks very good. My worry is that after playing no games, he's now playing back-to-back full matches. The guy just looks like he wants it. I think
he's
hungry. We've used that a few times tonight. So if he's hungry and he's fit and he passes the fitness tests for the game, let's go with it. Hello, good to see you. Graham Byrne, he says, looks good. Darren Smith says, Gavin's lineup is spot on. Maybe Mitchell for Pleggy, but 6 of 1. I think Mitchell's maybe still carrying that little niggling knock, but we shall see. Darren's, I just read that one out. Sorry, Stephen Cooper's in spot on, Gav. Great team. It's turning into the Ian and Gavin. Although I do have Carl's lineup as well. I'll show because he still sent it in. Ian, not Edwards, not played much this season. No, I just wonder if Edwards. I said this in our group chat, and I mean it with the greatest of respect. Whether or not he's going to struggle to sort of really feature, but we'll see. And at least we've got the perfect replacement for him in Waro as the up and coming, future Edwards. Oh, let's not do that. I've done it tough. So let me go quickly to Carl's lineup as well. Then it sounds as well. I'm seeing really no numbers on X through the restream stats, and then when I look on my phone, it looks like there's 1 or 2 viewing across the channels. But I'm told that it's all good. Carl dropped me a message in. There's a lot watching on there, so something's going wrong with the old Tinterweb tonight. But so Carl's lineup was again, as Gavin says, for those on the commute or listening post. If we didn't blow your ears out earlier, messing around. Cooper in goal as well. He's then got Soranola left to right, Mitchell, Ross, Harding. He's gone for Backerson and White in midfield. He's got a 4-2-2-2. He's then gone for Iro, got to remember that. And then Amici as well, like Gavin has. And then he has actually picked Peppel. So there's 2 of you that picked Peppel in, sorry. And Evans up front. So Andrew says he's dribbling again. I need to get these comments. I want the top ones at the top. There we go. Stephen Cooper saying, great side, Gav. I'm glad I won't wet the bed tonight. So Ibrahim is so fit, says Andrew T, and energetic. No worries. His injury was a break, not muscular. Although actually he did unlock an achievement on Tuesday. I don't think he got a yellow card, did he? Ibrahim. So achievement unlocked.
Amici did. That's guaranteed now.
Yeah, that's it. It's
money.
It's one of them. Yeah, Nicky's saying the numbers are looking strong. So that's pleasing. So thank you, everybody, for listening in. I'm just going to check my notes on my iPad to make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, the presser, because I normally do that before we go. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. Gavin and Andy, I know, did watch the press conference in full. So, Andy, I'll come to you just briefly afterwards for anything else. But on injuries, TC says, it's the cleanest board I've seen for a long time. Just 2 names. Jack McKenzie, as Voodoo said earlier, we finally found him. And Freddie Azaka, McKenzie, Azaka, Onaseni are all training today. TC on Iro and Backinson, he said they did as well as they could have done in terms of understanding the game plan and the tactical side of the game. Remember, they were only confirmed on Monday. Their fitnesses were checked on Friday night, as he alluded to after the Wickham game. So straight in it was, as we said earlier, and you would have seen. On Bradford, TC says, we are excited that our challenge is trying to break the deadlock as well as keeping it tight ourselves against a real competitive team. I'm excited by the challenge against a really big League One club. Saturday will be a good occasion. He also went on to say, was asked about Harvey White, and TC said, I think there are parts of Harvey's game where we can continue to unlock. We have seen a real solid version of Harvey in the first 4 games. There is definitely more in there. We will be doing lots of hard work to unlock that and really see him flourish in our midfield. And finally, on Bim Peppel, we are expecting the player to be here after Tuesday. Expecting is the key word there. So we'll find out.
Bed wetting.
Hey, you're not on screen either.
Jesus,
there we go. Well, it's coming to the end now, and feeling it a bit of another busy day as well in the office. So I'm just going to check the rest of my notes. I think we've covered most things. Of course, let me just scroll down here. Next fixture, as we were just talking about it. So our post-match show will be on Saturday at 8 p.m. So join us for that. It's my first home game of the season. Because did you know I went on holiday? So looking forward to that. I don't know, and I'll work it out with the wife, because the watch-alongs, although I love doing them, Sophie, who sat next to me at bed, is right above me. Now, they aren't back to school until the week after next, so I might get away with it Tuesday, but to do a watch along. And it's transfer deadline day, of course, as Ian reminded me earlier in WhatsApp as well. So could be an interesting one.
Mm-hmm.
But I shall let you know anyway come Saturday's show what the plan is with that. But going forward, the Tuesday night games might be a bit more tricky because, of course, I'm not the quietest person in the world. So GT just said at the end there with evening all as well. You're a bit late, GT, and you have to go back and watch. In there as Commander Greens, of course. Nicky says, I'm worried TC has jinxed himself, saying about the cleanest board he's had. It's going to happen, isn't it, on Saturday? Just like Luke jinxed us with Boateng in the Wickham game, and we all blame Luke for that.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So, look, Andy, was there anything else in the presser from what you watched to pick up on?
I just like the way that Ira spoke. He seemed confident.
Yes.
He said that he's more mature since he's been at Mansfield, of course, and like the fact that his dad drove him down to join us, and so he was played the following night, and he had to go back to work apparently, and then come back again. So
Nice.
it's good that his family are involved and their support of him in that, and that's we got a good little confident player there.
Yeah, no, it's good. Anything else for you, Gavin, as well that was noted in the presser?
No, not well. We can either fuel or dampen down the bedwetting fires if you want, but it doesn't look like anyone's going anywhere apart from, you'd say, maybe Caleb or Tegan on loan to a Football League club by Tuesday, Wednesday. Whether that then frees us up to get something in, I don't know. Maybe Dale. Sorry, Luke. Let's just get PTSD. It seemed like TC looked happy, looked relaxed. It seems like it must be a big fillip to have the big amount of the squad around him now. The only thing he talked about, which Alan always asks him, is, "Oh, you're from Bradford, aren't you? So do you look out for their results? And who do you look out for after Argyle? Is it Bradford and Man United, all that type of stuff?" Trying to get a headline, I would imagine, from somewhere. But yeah, it was a pretty standard press conference. Apart from, he's not going to rule out if someone offers us an obscene amount of money for any of our players, one of them will go between now and Tuesday. But you could have copied and pasted that to every manager's press conference in anyone outside the Champions League, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I did see the Bradford bit, the emotional side. It's just there's no issues there, is it? You just get on with what you got to do. So, yeah, thank you for sharing those additional insights. Of course, if you want to see, you can see the press conferences. They do get put out on YouTube if you didn't know, and of course, you've got other content that Argyle TV provide as well. For those that aren't subscribers of that, just a little plug for them, because why not? But yes, look, that's it from us tonight. Brilliant show.
Are you doing score predictions or no?
Seeing as I've clearly forgotten. So top to bottom quickly, Andy, score predictions.
2-1 to Argyle, Evans and Ira, and man of the match is going to be Harvey White.
Yeah, Luke.
1-1. I think Ibrahim will score, and I think he'll get man of the match as well.
Yeah, and Gavin.
I don't know why I brought this up now. I've made my mind up. Probably 2-1 to Argyle, I think. I'd say Ibrahim's got a goal in him at the minute, and I'd say Amici to carry on with his run of scoring like he's no tomorrow. 2-1 win.
Ian, what are you going with?
I'm just going to go for a 2-1 win, and I think I upset Andy earlier because I copied all that.
That's all they did. They just copied me.
I did see that. I just had to go back in. I knew what my score prediction. So I've gone with another draw actually. So I got the Wickham one right. I'm going for 2-2 because I just think we're going to still find our feet a little bit with these new players and this setup. So against a strong side. So I'm going to go 2-2. So I think there'll be some goals. And I went with Evans and Iro as the scorers, and Iro as man of the match. So I'd like to say I don't want to get it right, but also don't want us to lose. So we'll see what comes of that. So a couple have put their quotes in. So goals in Rambo's nose is going 1-1 as well. Ads is saying bring on Bradford. Cheers guys, night all to you. Stephen Cooper says Curtis to Wickham and Dale in by Tuesday. Hang on a minute, where's that come from? Andrew T says nice one guys, cheers. We'll see you in the group and Andy afterwards. And Debbie saying another great pod. Night all, see you Saturday. And yes, Debbie, thank you for also subscribing on our YouTube channel. 3-2 win. Ads is in at last minute, another subscriber to the channel on YouTube. Appreciate that as always. 3-2 to him in the last minute. And Nicholas G with a 1-0. So Andy, Luke, Gavin and Ian and Carl, while he's working tonight. Thank you for your contributions. A lot to go through with the Carabao Cup game, but hopefully you enjoyed that, folks. Again, thank you to all those that are listening, post on the podcast platforms, and sorry for messing with your ears halfway through the show when we were messing around. But other than that, folks, enjoy the rest of your week, and until Saturday, we'll see you then.